Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Now in this video, I will be reviewing McFarlane DC Multiverse latest addition to the JSA team, which is Hourman. First, let's have a look at the packaging. So the front of the box, it shows a clear window of the figure. First impression, I'm thinking it doesn't come with any accessories or alternate hands. Anyway, at the side of the packaging, that's our man, JSA. At the bottom, some legalese. Then on the other side, DC Multiverse, our man. At the back, a classic picture of the character from the comics, which I think they did capture the classic look right now. Yeah, I'm having. And then at the top of the figure, yeah, I'm having high hopes on this figure. I think it looks really good. So let us unbox this figure and see if McFarlane did justice to this character in action figure form. Okay, as we saw from the box window, he basically doesn't come with any accessories or even any alternate arms. What I did not notice from looking at it inside the box though is that he has a plastic cape. I guess I've gotten used with McFarlane giving us soft goods cape that I guess my brain automatically assumed that he has a soft cape, but yeah, that's a plastic cape. So the only thing that comes with him is technically the standard McFarlane art card and the base. Okay, guys, so this is literally everything out of the box. Basically, the standard McFarlane base or stand, and then the McFarlane standard art card with the short biography of the character at the back. So if you want to read it, you can pause now. Okay, after having a close look at the figure, well, I'm kind of actually surprised how much I actually like it. Well, I was expecting that I'll like it because during those photos that I saw on YouTube on the toy fair, this is actually one of the figure that caught my eye because I really like the very light color of the costume. It's like black and bright yellow. I don't know, somehow it works for me. But out of the box, first thing that I was actually kind of surprised of is that he came with a pre-post rubber cape instead of soft goods, which I'm kind of surprised because I know that McFarlane said that they use, as far as production cost is concerned, giving them a soft or cloth cape is actually cheaper. This, which I think I can agree because the material used for this rubber cape is obviously more expensive than giving him a wired cape. Now, despite that, though, after having a close look at the figure, I don't think I have a problem with this pre-post cape. I know that this actually limits the fun factor and many possibilities on how you would post this figure, but I mean, just look at that. I think just posting him on a vanilla post, he already look badass. Now, I don't know if this is a reuse or a new mold. I am under the impression that this is actually a new mold because this is a very bulky figure, but I mean, if you will put him next to Kingdom Come Superman, he has the bulkiness of the same bulkiness as the Kingdom Come Superman Buck, but he's a little shorter. He's a little shorter to him. Plus, the sculpted texture on it. I think this is brand new. I'm not familiar of any figure that I had that has this. Now, please leave in a comment if you think this is a reuse mold and what character is it. Maybe it's some piece of figure that I don't have. Anyway, when I actually saw this, I'm thinking this is the bug that they should also have used on their Wildcat because I don't know that Wildcat looks too thin and too clean. That Wildcat, this sculpted texture would have helped in making that their Wildcat more interesting. Even the hood is actually pre-posed. At first, I was actually a little bummed out that it is not in the center, but having it having a closer look at it now, it kind of grow on me. I don't know. I just really like how this figure looks. Even on just a vanilla pose, he looks really badass. So he has this. Well, she's in Tower Man. This is his main source of power. So that's the hourglass, and then having a close look at the cape. So that's all a lot of molded details on it. Again, it is pre-post, but I don't know. Somehow for me, this actually works. Then, as I said, the textured uh, mold on the body, even the legs. Again, as usual, since this McFarlane, the knee and the elbow aren't painted. On the black one, I guess it's not that obvious, but on this one, you can somehow see the difference in color, but it is not so obvious if you're not looking at it at close up. I like this red belt that they've given him. Yeah, overall, I love this figure. Despite the fact that uh, not I was surprised that he did not have a cloth or wired cape. I think this will definitely look good on my shelf. Going back to the lack of accessories, I guess I think maybe the cost of this whole cape technically covered most of it, and that's why they can no longer afford to give him even an alternate hands. I mean, again, our man is basically a punching character, so he's a berserker or something. So at least they should have at least given him a complete set of closed fist hands instead of this trigger hand. I mean, what do I need this trigger hand for again? It doesn't come with any accessories that he would hold. Anyway, guys, here's a complete 360-degree look of the figure. Now, for some close up look at the figure, let's start with the head sculpt. Now, a close up view of the front of the figure. At the side, the other side, the back, which I guess is basically all cape. I guess another thing that I can say, which I guess you notice, is that because of this rubber cape, the figure is back heavy, so I cannot really stand him unless I'm using this base or the stand. Maybe just to give you a look at how the back of the figure looks like, and maybe just to give you an idea in identifying if this is a reuse mold. Again, if this is a reuse mold, guys, can you please leave in the comment what figure it is? Before I go with articulation, in case you're curious on how the head looks like without the hood, so they even save up on the paint on it. So I don't know, is that really how our men's mesh should be? So it's kind of not fully painted at the back. So I guess you can't really display him without the hood. Now let's go with the articulation for the head. Since the hood is there, I guess I'm not even gonna try. Obviously, this hood will limit the articulation of the head. So let's start with the hands. The hands can rotate, although the this will be on the way, but it can rotate. And then it can do the T pose, technically standard McFarlane articulation, bicep cut, double jointed elbow, and then double peg hands. Luckily though, the peg on this hands is actually good compared to the previous figures that I review wherein the pegs are kind of deformed. So we can do this. He has an abdominal cut, which can do that, and then he has waist rotation, so he can bend backward that much, which is a pretty good range. But since this is McFarlane, they can't really bend forward at all. Side to side is good. For the leg, there's thigh swivel was actually pretty good on this one. Then I can kick forward that much. You can. Why am I having a hard time? Okay. You cannot kick backward too much because the diaper's actually getting in the way. So that is the range of the figure. Double jointed knee. Rotation here. Then can go backward, you can go forward to articulation and ankle swivel or ankle rocker. And you can do the bend them that much. For some size comparison, here he is with Kingdom Come Superman. Here he is with Return of Superman. Here he is with Christopher Reeve's Superman. Here he is with the new Connor Hawk Green Arrow figure. Here he is with Woman of Tomorrow Supergirl. Here he is with Blue Lantern Kyle. Here he is with Wonder Woman. And here he is with Nightfall Batman. I think the main thing that might make some collectors pass on this figure is, well, obviously the huge rubber cape, and not just a huge rubber cape, basically a pre-post cape. This is something that actually McFarlane like to do, giving their figure a dynamic post cape. But I guess in a way it limits one's the figure's pen factor on posing on, because we can only post them on a limited way. But for me, I guess it may also be one of the reason why some collectors might like to have this figure, because when I first saw this figure, I don't know, there's just something about it that attracted it to me, that got my attention, considering that I am not even a fan of JSA, especially Hourman. But when I saw those promo, no, not even the promo pic, just those picture, the from ToyCon that I saw from YouTube, uh it's one of the picture that really called my attention. I was thinking that maybe it's because of the color, the unique color combination, black and yellow, which for me, black and very bright yellow should not work, but somehow this figure or this character actually pulls it off. But then I'm thinking that maybe the other reason why this figure caught my attention is the dynamic way that the rubber cape was posed. And yeah, I think this is just how I'm gonna display him on the shelf on a vanilla pose. And even though he's just in a vanilla pose, he still look badass. Anyway, I guess as McFarlane said, this rubber cape actually costs more than giving them a wired cape. I guess that's why most of their releases they gave wired cape, because they cost less. But in the case of this one, I guess this is another one of McFarlane experimenting on his artistic side, which I don't know. For me, it actually works. I like how this figure looks with that dynamic post cape. But yeah, I know, guys, that it is not for everybody. Anyway, guys, if you reached this part of my video, thanks a lot. If you like my video, please don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe. And as usual, guys, enjoy life and keep collecting.